Marriage contract. Now, Vesh. Prefect Sarken thrust his manipulator arm across Leora's path at the security checkpoint. His segmented eyes gleamed under the harsh scan lights. Leora halted mid-stride, her ventral frills twitching in irritation. Behind her, Evan matched her stop without a word, his hand brushing her elbow in silent support. She extended her ident pad. Here, Prefect. Valid and registered. Sar snatched it. His claws clicked over the screen. Human spouse. Evan Hale. This union violates Sector Accord 47B. Interspecies bonds dilute cultural purity. Leora's core pulsed hot. She was Chief Archivist Leora Vesh, respected across 3 habitats for her neural map reconstructions. Her marriage to Evan stood legal under Alliance law. The Accord permits it with mutual consent. We filed all forms. Sar's mandibles clicked. Consent revoked. Sign the annulment, or face review.
Evan stepped forward, voice even.
Good day, Prefect. We'd prefer to decline. 2 agents in enforcer harnesses lunged from the flanks. They seized Evan's arms, their grip clamps whirring to lock. Leora surged against the barrier field, her cry echoing off the alloy walls. Release him. You have no grounds. Sar waved her back. Standard procedure for soft-target leverage. Scan the human. The agents dragged Evan to the cargo bay beside the checkpoint. Leora pressed her faceplate to the transparency shield, watching. One agent shoved Evan onto the restraint slab. Scan beams lanced his body, blue grids mapping bones, organs, neural webs. Primitive physiology. The first agent sneered, voice filtering through. No exoskeletal bracing. No venom sacs. How does this thing function? Evan sat still. I'm fine, thanks. Just passing through. The second agent activated the deep tissue probe. It hummed, injecting microfilaments into Evan's skin. Leora winced. Those probes shredded lesser tissues on contact. Even her resilient archive aids yelped under them. Evan didn't flinch.
At all?
Sar leaned into the comm.
Insult to order.
Human your kind scatters like dust in void storms. Sign the voluntary annulment.
Spare yourself.
His tone stayed polite. No thank you.
Leora and I are committed.
Leora's vents heaved. She pounded the shield.
Evan.
Don't provoke them. Sar turned to her, eyes narrowing. Watch, Vesh. Leverage works on the weak. He signaled. Initiate compliance hold. Level 2. The agents amped the restraints. Electrobands snapped around Evan's wrists, ankles, torso. Current surged, visible arcs dancing across his clothes. Leora knew Level 2. It overloaded synaptic relays, forced submission in under 30 cycles.
Her own species crumpled, begging release.
Evan's jaw clenched. He breathed steady. Sweat beaded his brow, but he straightened against the pull. Pathetic, an agent muttered. Ramp to 3. Sar nodded. Break him, Vesh. Or he stays clamped till you comply. Leora clawed the shield.
Stop, he's no threat.
The bands glowed brighter. Evan's muscles corded under the strain. He grunted once, then forced words out.
Prefect, your checkpoint needs better calibration.
Silence the soft skin. An agent jabbed a neural prod to Evan's neck. The shock rippled through him. Leora screamed, her world narrowing to his form. Evan convulsed, then locked his elbows, pushing back. The slab creaked under his weight. Impossible, Sar hissed. Humans lack density. Cycles ticked. Evan's face reddened, veins bulging.
Yet he held eye contact with the agents. Gentlemen, reconsider. The first agent faltered.
Vitals spiking, but stable. No synaptic fracture.
Alarms blared from the console. Hold failing.
Subject resisting cascade.
Sar stormed to the bay door.
Pulp his nerves at him.
Security drones buzzed her back. You'll kill him.
Call Mary's Quell. The medic Sar ignored her. Level 4. Engaged. The air hummed with overload energy. Evan's body arched, shirt tearing at the seams. His fists balled, knuckles white. A low growl escaped him, not pain, but defiance. Then the restraint sparked. One band shattered, shards flying. Evan ripped free of the torso clamp, collapsing to his knees but rising fast. He grabbed the slab edge, steadying. Blood trickled from his lip, but his eyes burned clear. Agents recoiled, prods raised.
Containment breach.
Evan raised empty hands. I'm done with your dames. Let us pass. Medic, Quell, now. Maris Quell burst through a side hatch, kit in manipulators. The pragmatic clinician knelt by Evan. Scanners whirring. By the cores, microfractures and skeletal supports, but self-healing already. Neural webs intact, no degradation. Just a scratch. Leora? Leora shoved past the stunned drones as the barrier dropped. She wrapped her arms around him, frills quivering against his chest. His heartbeat thrummed strong under her vents. Unbroken, unbowed. Maris stood, voice clipped. Prefect. This human endured what drops Veshkan warriors. 4 levels. Unprecedented. Saw her back to step, claws twitching. Anomaly. Rescan protocols. Evan met Sar's gaze over Leora's shoulder. Calm. Again. Courteous. Protocols say we're clear. Right? Maris nodded. Legally, yes. Medically, advise caution.
His resilience defies models. Leora pulled Evan toward the exit ramp.
SAR's agents parted without a word. Whispers rippled through the checkpoint crew. Humans? Harmless? Not this one. As they cleared the scan arch, Evan squeezed her hand. Told you I'd handle it. Leora's core swelled. Her quiet husband. Behind them, SAR activated his comm. Central Command. We have a problem with Hale. Evan's grip tightened. He glanced back once, eyes hardening. The prefect flinched. SAR's claws clamped Evan's shoulder. Hale, you're not cleared. Leora spun, frills flaring. Drones swarmed from the shadows, blocking the ramp. Evan's hand slipped from hers. Prefect. She lunged forward. A drone's manipulator barred her path. Evan twisted free, stance loose.
On what charge?
SAR ignored him. Security breach protocols. Maris Quell pushed through the cluster, scanner still humming. Prefect. His vitals, stand down, medic. SAR's mandibles clicked. Drones seized Evan's arms. Leora slammed her vents against the drone. Evan. He met her eyes. Calm. It's fine, Leora. Stay back. They dragged him toward a side hatch. The interview wing. Sealed chambers. Her core iced.
Maurice gripped her arm. Let me go with him.
Documentation. SAR waved them off. The hatch hissed shut. Leora paced the corridor. Whispers from checkpoint crew echoed. Human anomaly. Veshkan endurance myths. Maris tapped her comm. No signal. Jammers active. Minutes stretched. Leora's vents burned. Evan alone. No translator.
SAR's games. The hatch unsealed.
Maris started inside first. Leora followed.
Evan sat at a stark table, wrists unbound. SAR loomed opposite. Console dark. No translation hum. Evan pointed at the wall panel. Exit protocol lights blinked red. SAR crossed his arms. Silence. Evan tapped the panel again.
Insistent. His finger traced the override glyph.
SAR's frills twitched. He activated the translator. Voice overlay crackled to life. Prefect Ken. Evan's tone stayed even. Article 47, subsection 9. All detainees retain consular access. Translator activation constitutes coercion. SAR leaned forward. You memorized our laws, in your archives. Public domain. Now, Leora's lawyer. Immediately. Leora froze in the threshold. Maris's scanner whirred softly beside her. SAR's claws scraped the table. Your wife's under review. Fitness for duty.
Marrying off-world scum like you.
Evan didn't blink. Statute 112C. Spousal rights extend to legal counsel during any inquiry. Cite me if wrong. The room's protocol drone.
Compliance glyph lit green. SAR snarled.
Dialectic.
Wrong again. Evan recited, voice steady. Interspecies Protection Act, Amendment 4. No citizen's kin held without cause. Penalty dismissal. 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 He'd studied. Every night, data slates glowing while she slept. SAR slammed a claw down. You dropped 4 levels of crush plate. Survived.
How? Evan shrugged.
Human. Maris stepped forward. Prefect. Scans confirm. No augments. Baseline physiology. SAR keyed his comm. Escalate. Public fitness hearing. Hale as witness. Tomorrow, Central Forum. Public, her. Exposed. Evan stood. Hearing requires counsel notification. Lawyer.
Now, the protocol drone hummed.
Counsel dispatch initiated. SAR recoiled.
This isn't over. Evan turned to Leora.
His eyes softened. Go home. I'll call. Drones parted. No resistance. Mary's guided Leora out.
He quoted overrides like a jurist.
They reached the ramp. Evan emerged last, SAR's glare burning his back. Leora grabbed his arm. Bruises bloomed under his shirt. Evan. Handled. Law's on our side. SAR's voice echoed from the hatch. Forum at dawn. Our drones fetch you. Evan nodded once. Courteous. They walked into the transit tube. Leora's frills trembled against him. Quiet devotion. Unstoppable. The tube accelerated. City lights blurred past. Maris's cone pinged. Council en route.
Evan checked his wrist slate. Statutes updated last cycle.
Ken's behind.
She leaned into him. His warmth chased the chill. They targeted you. For me, he kissed her temple. Worth it. Alarms blared ahead. Tube halted. Drones flooded the car. Prefect's orders. One droned. Secure hail. Evan sighed. Again, Leora clutched him. No. Maris raised her scanner. Med Bay override. He's under observation. Protocol conflict. Evan recited. Medic priority. Statute 203. Yield. They yielded. Maris led them to her clinic. Doors sealed. SAR's crusade escalates. Leora patched Evan's bruises. Gels hissed on skin. He winced once. Endured. Why not fight? She whispered. His hand covered hers. Law first. Force if needed. Maris reviewed scans. Microtears healing. Adrenaline analogs off charts.
Humans rebuild.
Council, hearing confirmed. Prefect pushing expulsion for Vesh.
Leora's vents seized. Career gone. Evan targeted. He stood. We prepare. Data slates piled. Evan cross-referenced statutes. Flawless recall. Dawn neared. SAR's forum loomed. Public eyes. Leora watched him, calm. Courteous. Her shield, quoting laws that bent the room. A drone pounded the clinic door. Hearing now. Advanced schedule. Let's go. Maris followed.
Witnessing. They marched corridors.
Crowds gathered. Whispers. Human law weaver.
SAR waited at the forum dais.
Mandibles, smug. Hail. Testify to your wife's instability. Evan stepped up. Microphone live. Prefect. Article 47. The crowd hushed. Room obeyed. Article 47, subsection 9. Evan continued. Voice steady over the microphone. Spousal fitness hearings require neutral evaluators. Your solo oversight violates protocol.
SAR's mandibles clicked. The prefect leaned forward on the dais.
Spotlights glared on the forum stage. Leora gripped the spectator rail. Her vents tightened. Crowds packed the tiered seats. Officials, aides, holocams streaming live. Neutral? SAR spat. You invade our stability, human. Your wife endangers us. He gestured to a side platform. Servo arms whirred. A massive strength tester rose from the floor. Alien standard rig. Hydraulic pistons gleamed. Weight stacks loomed, calibrated for Vesh physiology. Leora's scales prickled. That machine crushed bones if miscalibrated. Public spectacle. Humiliation tactic. Evan glanced at it. Calm. Irrelevant to the hearing. Prove fitness, SAR barked. Lift. Or admit weakness. Unfit mates threaten society. Maris edged closer to Leora in the front row. The medic scanner hummed low. Rigged, she whispered. Overloads, programmed. SAR's signature on the logs. Leora's claws dug into the rail. Goal, defend their marriage. Conflict. SAR's trap. Witnesses everywhere. Evan stepped toward the machine. Safety gear first. Protocol mandates harnesses padding. SAR laughed. A wet rasp. Ah. Humans need coddling? Lift bare. Witnesses see truth. Inspected the rig. Panels hummed unevenly. Locks bypassed. Pistons misaligned. I refuse rigged equipment. Crowd murmured. Holocam zoomed. Refusal is failure. SAR slammed a podium control. Green lights flashed. Machine activated. Weights slammed down. The frame buckled. Deliberate flaw. A piston rod snapped free, whipping toward the front row. Leora lunged. Too slow. Evan dove. Bare hands clamped the rod midair. Muscles corded under his shirt. He twisted, redirecting the momentum. Metal groaned. The rod halted inches from a junior aide's crest. Silence crashed.
Evan held it. Sweat beaded his brow.
Veins bulged. He wedged a foot against the base. Slowly he bent the rod back into the housing. Sparks flew. Gears ground. Stabilized. The machine powered down. Red alarms silenced. He released, stepped back, flexed fingers. No flinch. SAR gaped, mandibles slack. Leora's heart thundered. Her quiet husband, Evan, who carried groceries without strain, fixed her shuttle with tools from his pocket, had just manhandled a Vesh industrial crusher. Maris scanned him from the rail. Adrenaline surge. No fractures. Tissue density, anomalous. Evan turned to the microphone. Dust on his hands. Test. Invalid. Tampering evident. Call technicians. Crowd erupted. Cheers mixed with gasps.
Aides whispered furiously.
SAR recovered. Luck. Human trickery. Review the feed, Evan said. Slow motion shows override. Holoscreens flickered. Replay. SAR's podium slam. Rod snapping. Evan's grip. Prefect's vents flared. Irrelevant. You. Statue 112, Evan cut in. Sabotaged equipment voids proceedings. There. Hearing dismissed. Officials nodded. One stood. Motion to adjourn. Seconded.
SAR pounded the dais. No.
Deport him. Votes flashed on screens. Majority green. Leora exhaled. Evan met her eyes across the stage. Nodded once. Maris tugged her sleeve. Clinic. Check him properly. They pushed through the exiting crowd. Whispers trailed. Human stopped death. Evan joined them at the corridor, unscathed. Casual stride. Leora touched his arm. Scales to skin. Warm, steady, bare-handed. Basic mechanics, he said. Leverage. Had to. Maris led to her medbay. Doors hissed shut. Scanner bathed Evan in blue light. Microabrasions only, Maris reported. Healing rate triple Vesh norm. Bone density exceeds alloy specs. Leora watched the readouts. Graphs spiked where Vesh flatlined. Her husband, unremarkable daily. Unstoppable now. Combuzzed. Council's voice. Public support surges.
I isolated.
Evan wiped his hands. Good. Law held. Rotoride feed. Mandibles furious. This isn't over, Hale. Full expulsion audit tomorrow. Bring your strength. Screen blanked. Leora clutched Evan. Vents synced to his breath. Threat lingered. But now they saw. Maris pocketed her scanner. I'll testify. Human baseline defies models. Evan smiled faintly. Appreciate it. Alarms blared outside. Drones swarmed corridors again. Leora tensed. SAR? Evan checked his slate. Audit prep.
They'll escalate.
Maris sealed doors tighter.
Fortify. He's rewriting our limits.
Crowds chanted faintly through vents. Hail, hail. SAR wouldn't stop. But Evan's grip echoed in Leora's mind. Steel bent. Threats next? Hours ticked. Evan reviewed statutes. Leora prepped defenses. Legal briefs. Witness lists. Maris cross-checked medicals. Dawn feeds exploded. Viral clips. Evan save. Headlines. Human halts hazard. Prefect's plot exposed.
SAR's office sealed. Protests swelled outside.
Council commed. Delay granted. Public outrage.
Evan paused, looked at Leora.
We endure. She nodded. Devotion solidified. Her world shifted. Drone pounded doors. Prefect summons. All parties. Now. Evan stood. Round 2. They marched out. Crowds parted.
Eyes wide on the human who turned frailty to fortress.
SAR on dais, flanked by enforcers. New rig gleamed, reinforced. Witness his limits, SAR declared. Evan approached. Rigged again?
He inspected.
Safety gear? Denied. SAR sneered. Evan nodded to Maris. Scan, active. Recording. Her device word.
Pistons primed. Crowd held breath.
Evan gripped bars. Lifted. Weights rose smooth. Steady reps, no strain. SAR frowned. Overload triggered. Frame shuddered. Rods whipped. Evan anticipated. Hand shot out. Caught 2. Jammed them stable. Third grazed his shoulder. Tore shirt. Blood welled. He ignored. Forced hydraulics back. Machine wind defeat. Released, bled.
Stood tall. Maris gasped.
Wound clotting instantly. Pain blockers endogenous. Leora rushed stage, pressed gel to his cut. Sealed clean. Crowd roared approval. SAR recoiled. Impossible. Human normal, Evan said. Wiped blood. Your sabotage fails. Enforcers advanced. Evan squared. No fear. Leora stepped beside. End this, Prefect. Votes flashed. Overwhelming. Dismiss. SAR slumped. Adjourned. But his eyes burned. Personal now.
Back in medbay, Maris bandaged.
You're rewriting biology texts. Evan shrugged. Just protecting.
Diora held him. Quiet devotion.
Unstoppable. Calm. Crackled. Council. SAR resigning pressure. But whispers of off-grid action. Drones hummed outside. Shadows moved. Evan tensed. They come. Leora gripped her slate. Fight began. Her human shield ignited. The bay doors buckled under plasma cutters.
SAR's rogue team, plasma cutters, shrieked.
Bay doors buckled inward. SAR's enforcers burst through, rifles humming with charged coils. Leora lunged for Evan. Her claws scraped armor. A stunner bolt clipped her shoulder. Nerves fired white-hot. She crumpled. Evan twisted free. He drove a fist into the nearest enforcer's vent grate. Cartilage crunched.
The alien gagged.
SAR stepped forward. His injector gleamed. Enough. Needle plunged into Evan's neck. Sedative hissed. Evan staggered. His knees buckled. Enforcers pinned him. Cuffs snapped around wrists. Magnetic locks clicked shut. Leora clawed upright. Evan, Maris yanked her back. Tracker active. Vitals streaming. SAR sneered. Off-world leverage, Vesh. Your pet human vanishes unless you recant. Enforcers dragged Evan out. Boots scraped deck plates. Leora surged. Maris's grip held. Transport hatch yawned outside. They shoved Evan aboard. Ramp sealed with a pneumatic hiss. Thrusters roared. The craft lifted. Gone. Leora slammed her palm on the console. Maris patched feeds from Evan's subdermal implant. Vitals steady.
Sedative flooding system.
Heart rate controlled. Breathing deliberate.
Leora's vents rasped. She stared at the hollow display.
Evan's form outlined in faint glow. Transport schematics overlaid. Standard enforcer shuttle, orbital relay route. Inside the transport, Evan slumped against restraints. Fog clawed his mind.
Muscles turned to sludge. He focused.
Inhale 4 counts. Hold 4. Exhale 4. Hold. 4. Leora's display spiked. Movement. Subtle. One wrist. Maris leaned in. Cuff strain detected.
Ease! Slipping it?
Sedative burned. He rotated his left hand. Thumb joint popped. Dislocated with a wet snap.
Pain lanced.
He ignored. Wrist slid free. Cuff dangled loose. Alarm stayed silent. He exhaled slow. Recuffed wrist behind back. Loose enough to slip again. Tight enough for sensors. Leora's claws dug into the console edge. How? That dose drops a Krelvox cold. Human baseline, Maris muttered. Endorphins surging. Adrenaline modulated. He's rewriting protocols in real time. Transport banked. Timer clicked. Relay beacon pinged every 47 seconds. Evan counted. Engine hum shifted pitch at curve 3. Ventilation rattled loose on ascent vector.
He map it. 5 minutes to orbital dock.
Escape window narrowing. Leora's slate buzzed. Incoming hail. SAR's face filled the screen. Witness your husband's fragility, Besh. Sedated. Cuffed. En route to penal colony. Recant your union, or he rots.
She bared fangs. Touch him again, Prefect, and your career ends in plasma.
SAR laughed. Powerless primate. Feed ends here.
Screen blanked.
Maris boosted signal. Audio leak from implant. He's listening, cataloging sounds. Evan's eyes slitted open. Guards conversed in low hisses. Prefect says dump him at Relay 7. Leverage holds till she breaks. Thumb throbbed. He flexed it back into socket. Popped silent. Restraints chafed. Plan formed. Slip cuff at dock. Neutralize guards. Steel shuttle controls. Relay 7 weak security node. Back to Leora. Leora's display glitched. Motion alert. Chrysefa. One cuff loose but re-engaged. No alarm trigger. Calculated risk.
He's plotting. Transport shuttered.
Docking clamps engaged. Timer hit 5 minutes. Hatches cycled. Leora grabbed flight harness. We steal a pursuit craft. Now. Maris nodded. Docks 2 levels down. I override codes. Alarms wailed distant. SAR's lockdown spreading. Leora slashed a security drone mid-air. Sparks rained. Hangar bay doors parted. Pursuit skiff idled. Keys in console. They piled in. Maris punched orbital vector. Thrusters ignited. Leora's slate synced. Evan's feed sharpened. Docks loomed. Guards hauled him out. He dragged feet. Played sedated. But his free hand twitched. Memorized deck layout from sounds. Left vent grate loose. Escape route. First guard unlocked outer cuff. Move, soft skin. Evan surged. Slipped inner cuff. Elbow smashed jaw. Bone cracked. Guard dropped.
Second guard fumbled rifle. Evan yanked cord from wall panel.
Wrapped neck. Twisted. Thud. Leora's hollow flared. Fight. 2 down.
Maris banked hard. Relay 7 closing.
ETA 2 minutes. Evan dragged bodies into shadows. Thumb! Screamed ignored. Hot-wired dock controls. Shuttle schematics flashed memory. Human engineering basics crossed alien tech. Alarms blared. Reinforcements inbound. He sealed dock. Powered secondary shuttle. Engines whined to life. Pursuit skiff streaked in. Leora locked weapons. Evan's shuttle launching. SAR's interceptors scramble. Evan punched controls. The shuttle blasted free. Relay station shrank behind. Incoming fire scorched hull. He rolled evasive. G-forces pinned. Breathing steady. 4, in, hold, 4. Leora's voice crackled over open channel.
Evan, status. His reply calm.
Mapped route. 2 guards down. Shuttle mine. Thumb. Dislocated. Fine now. Coming home. Maris gaped. Vitals nominal. Sedative metabolized. He's unbreakable. Interceptors closed. Plasma lanced past. Evan vectored straight at them. Bluff. They scattered. Leora fired disruptors. 1 interceptor vented atmosphere. Exploded silent in vacuum. Evan matched velocity. Docking clamps locked. Hatch cycled. Leora pulled him aboard. His shirt tore wider. Fresh bruises bloomed. Thumb swelled purple. She pressed gel pack. Sealed wounds. You turned their trap into escape. Evan cupped her face. Quiet devotion. For you. Maris scanned. Resilience off charts. Perfect underestimated.
SAR's fleet pinged horizon. Hail incoming.
Surrender the human, Vesh. This escalates. Evan straightened. Blood wiped clean. Tell him human normal starts now.
Leora's vents synced with his breath. Her shield stood ready.
Unstoppable ignited. Fleet closed fast. Leora shoved open the prefect's office door. It banged against a wall. Prefect Sar Ken looked up from his console, mandibles clicking in irritation. Vesh, you have no appointment. She slapped her data slate on his desk. Security codes glowed red. Her lifetime access to the planetary defense grid. Evan's location, now. These codes for it. Sar leaned back, his upper vents flaring. Your human pet consorts with subversives. We hold him for questioning. Why trade? He's my husband. Leora leaned forward, claws digging into the desk edge. Leverage ends here. Take the codes. Sar's optics narrowed. He scanned the slate. The transfer pinged complete. Transport 47. En route to central detention, via Eastern Conduit. Current position, Sector 9, approaching Checkpoint 3 in 8 minutes. Soft target. Your mail folded without a twitch. Leora snatched the coordinates. He memorized every route you leaked during arrest. Underestimate him again. Sar laughed a wet rasp. Humans break easy. No claws, no venom. Go fetch your trophy, if the guards let you.
She spun for the door. Her vents burned hot.
8 minutes, enough to intercept. Her comm buzzed as she hit the corridor.
Maris Quell's voice. Leora.
Sar released details. Transport 47. Checkpoint 3. Meet me at the conduit access in 5. Leora sprinted for the lift, claws scraping tile.
Evan sat cuffed in that armored hauler, polite as ever. They'd regret touching him.
Lift doors hissed shut. She punched the lower levels. Her mind raced through grid maps. Checkpoint 3. Narrow pass, single inspection bay. Fault there could halt everything. Comm crackled again. Unknown ID, she answered. Leora Vesh, Evan's voice, steady as stone. Rendezvous at relay station Omicron D020 hours. A grunt echoed behind him. Fabric tore. A thud. Body hitting metal. Evan? Her vents seized. Status? Click. Line dead. She stared at the blank comm. Polite Evan. One sentence. No panic. Her husband planned this. Maris waited. Med kit slung over shoulder. What now? SARS goons swarmed the route. Evan called. Leora shoved past, boots pounding toward conduit access. He's turning their transport inside out. Relay station 2 hours. Maris matched pace, optics wide.
He escaped custody? Alone?
City sirens wailed distant. Leora's pad chimed. Emergency broadcast. She flicked it on. Transport 47 halted at checkpoint 3. Minor fault alarm triggered. Inspection teams dispatched. All eastern conduit traffic suspended. Schedule collapse projected. 2 hours minimum. Leora grinned, fangs bared. He stopped being polite. Maris halted. One human? Against armored guards. They reached the conduit hatch. Leora overrode the lock with a backup fob. Steam vented hot. Evan memorized the checkpoint schematics from public manifests. Fault alarm buys, stop time. Below, maglev tracks hummed empty. Transport 47's brake screeched faint half a click ahead. Red lights flashed on the bay doors.
Maris scanned her pad. Feed hacked from public cams.
Transport doors sealed internal. One guard down inside. Unconscious, not critical. Comm logs show outbound call from stolen unit. Leora dropped to the tracks. Vents cycling fast. He overpowered during the stop. Lock them in. Grainy cam feed flickered on Maris's pad. Transport rocked once. A guard slumped across the threshold, stun baton limp in his claw. Cabin door slammed shut from inside. Seals hissed tight. Human normal, Leora murmured. Evan's calm face flashed in her mind. Courteous nods at dinners. Quiet fixes to her shuttle rigging. Hidden steel. Maris whistled low. No weapons trace. Bare hands. Vitals on the downed guard stable. Concussion only. Precise. Sirens swelled. Security skiffs screamed overhead. SARS markings bold. Leora's pad buzzed. Incoming hail. From the prefect, she answered. SAR's face filled the screen. Furious. Besh. Your human assaulted officers. Opened the entire conduit grid. Surrender him. Leora smirked. Assault? He triggered a fault. By your protocols.
Unlock that transport, SAR's mandibles snapped, or we glass the route.
Try it. She killed the link. Maris. Shuttle prepped? Docked at Bay 2. Engines hot. They sprinted along the tracks. Conduit walls echoed their steps. Overhead, skiffs circled, spotters pinging locks. Leora's vents synced to the rhythm. Evan broke free for her. Quiet devotion. Weaponized. A shadow flickered ahead. Evan's transport. Doors fused shut. Guards pounded inside, muffled shouts. One waved a plasma cutter at the seals. Too late. Leora vaulted a service ladder, reached the top platform, her shuttle squatted waiting ramp down. Maris piled in first. Scans show Evan's signal outbound. He's commandeered a secondary vehicle. Leora strapped in. Relay station. Punch it. Engines roared. Shuttle lifted smooth, weaving past skiffs. Pursuit chatter flooded channels. Zesh shuttle evading. Leora locked weapons console. Disruptors charged. They targeted my marriage for leverage. Maris patched feeds. Conduit grid locked down. 20 transports stalled. SARS enforcers scrambling overrides. Human fault alarm cascaded the safeties. Brilliant sabotage. A skiff grazed their flank. Plasma grazing shields. She fired. Disruptor bolt punched through. Skiff vented sparks, plummeted.
SAR underestimated resilience, Maris said. Evan's nominal strength dropped that guard clean.
No alien physiology matches. Shuttle streaked east. Stars wheeled through the canopy. Relay station Omicron loomed, a skeletal hub orbiting the conduit mouth. Docks empty. Leora's cone pinged private. Evan's voice again, faint through relays. Docking in 5. Hold fire on inbound. Roger.
She exhaled. He's alive. Maris ran since.
Incoming signatures. SARS interceptors, 3, closing fast. Turaza gripped controls. Shields flared blue. Evan memorized their patrol vectors too. Station grew. Docking arms extended. A small maintenance shuttle jetted from Shadow Evan's prize. Clamps locked seamless. Hatch cycled. Evan stepped through. Shirt ripped across shoulder, thumb bent wrong. Bruises darkened his jaw. Calm eyes met hers. Leora pulled him close. Gel pack pressed to his hand. You collapsed their schedule. He cupped her faceplate, voice low. For you.
Maris scanned him.
Adrenaline crash incoming. Sedatives trace metabolized already. Vitals impossible. Fresh blood smeared his knuckles.
Nominal effort.
Interceptors streaked inbound, weapons hot. SARS hail cracked open channel.
Surrender! The human! This is war!
Leora locked targeting. Evan slid into co-pilot seat. Thumb popped straight. Human normal starts now. Shields hummed, ready. Fleet closed. Unstoppable ignited. Plasma bolts scorched the docking arms. Leora slammed the station's emergency bulkheads. Red lights pulsed across consoles. Evan braced beside her. Interceptors docking starboard. Breach in 30.
Maris yanked diagnostic cables.
Evac route sealed. Maintenance corridors only, path to auxiliary shuttle. SAR's voice boomed over open comms. Vesh, hail, surrender. Drones deploy now. Flush the human from those tunnels. Kiziola patched, station cams. Feeds flickered. 3 sleek interceptors clamped to the hub. Hatch's iris opened. Drones poured out. Fist-sized hunters, blades whirring, sensors glowing red. They swarmed into access grates, vanishing into maintenance corridors. Evan grabbed a loose panel tool from the deck. I draw them. You two hit the shovel.
Oh! Leora clutched his arm.
Her scales itched under the pressure suit. Stay with calm. He kissed her faceplate. Quick! Firm! Quiet devotion, remember? Go. His boots echoed down the corridor. Leora tracked his blip on the grid. Vital steady. He's not fleeing. He's hunting. Drones screeched through vents. Station schematics lit up. SARS swarm split, pincering Evan's position. Lead unit locked target. Blades extended. Evan ripped a conduit cover free. Metal groaned in his grip. He crouched behind it, shield raised. Drones buzzed closer, firing stun darts. Bolts pinged off the plate. He advanced, forcing them into tight quarters. No room for strafing runs. Leora watched the feed, breath fogging her plate. They're boxing him. Mara synced her med scanner. Human mass distribution, perfect for those angles. Drones calibrate for alien frames. He hurled the conduit cover like a discus. It smashed the lead drone midair. Sparks erupted. Wreckage clattered. The drone's beacon pulsed erratically. Evan pounced. Fingers pried its chassis. Wires sparked under his thumbs. He yanked the core module, reprogrammed the emitter with a jury-rigged override from the panel tool. Beacon flipped, now broadcasting false trails, looping the swarm into dead-end vents. Drones veered. Collision alarms wailed. 2 crumpled into walls. Others chased ghosts. SAR's roar crackled through. Impossible. Revector, you scrap heaps. Evan rose, blood trickling from a gash on his forearm. He wiped it on his torn shirt. 1 down. Path clear. Rendezvous point blinked green. Auxiliary shuttle bay, 2 levels down. Evan, link up. We're moving. Affirm. His blip accelerated. Interceptors rattled the hull. Breaches vented atmosphere. SAR's team deployed, armored enforcers repelling into main corridors, stunners raised. Prefect SAR led, his crest flared in fury. Fan out. Humans, soft flush, and cuff. Leora and Maris dashed through flickering halls. Gel packs jostled in Leora's pouch. Mary's huffed. Scans show Evan rerouted 12 drones. Nominal human torque did that.
Shuttle bay doors ground open.
The Awcroft squatted ramp down. Leora powered it hot. Thrusters whined. Evan burst from a side vent. Conduit cover tucked under arm like a trophy. Fresh cuts laced his knuckles. He slammed the ramp control doors sealed. SAR's team piled into the bay. Stunners cracked. Bolts sizzled shields. Evan positioned dead center. Between Leora at the console and the closing enforcers. He hefted the cover. Back off, SAR sneered through his visor. Powerless primate. Yield. Callum. Unyielding. Threaten her again. See human normal. Enforcers fanned.
Weapons cycled high. Leora targeted bay turrets.
Evan, he charged. Cover spun wide, clipping the first enforcer's rifle.
It shattered. Man dropped, clutching arm.
Second enforcer fired. Tackled low. Human weight drove the alien into bulkhead.
Armor cracked. SAR barked orders.
Lethal protocols. Third enforcer lunged. Evan sidestepped, grabbed wrist, twisted. Joint popped. Screen echoed. Maris gaped at her pad. Bone density, Human baseline pulverized our standard gear. No augmentation. Evan stripped a stunner, fired point blank. 2 down.
Sar drew his sidearm. Plasma winded charge.
Evan hurled the conduit cover. It embedded in SAR's chest plate. Prefect staggered, weapon clattering. Evan closed. Pinned SAR's throat with forearm. She's mine. Back off. SAR's eyes bulged. Crest wilted. Monster. How? Devotion. Evan pressed harder. Quiet until pushed. Leora throttled engines. Shuttle lurched free. Bay doors irised behind. Interceptors peeled off, weapons cold. SAR's remaining drones fizzled in vents. Maris strapped in. He saw it. Human harmless rewrote the threat matrix. Bloodied hand found Leora's. Squeezed. Shuttle punched to stars. Relay conduits beckoned. SAR's choked transmission followed. Truce, Vesh. Hail's not soft. Leora exhaled. Grid cleared. He folded. Thumb flexed straight. Maris logged data. Publication pending. Underestimated resilience. Case study, Homo sapiens. Leora traced his bruises. Quiet devotion burned bright now. Unstoppable. But sensors pinged. Fresh signatures. Inbound. Not SARS. Larger. Unknown vector. Evan straightened. Round 2. Shields hummed. Fleet ghosts loomed. Human normal escalated. Shields buckled under the opening salvo. Leora yanked the shuttle hard starboard, evading a plasma lance that scorched past the canopy. Alarms wailed. 3 cruisers materialized from the relay shadow. Bulkier than SAR's enforcers. Hulls etched with radical crest sigils. Not security. Purists. Evasive! Maris shouted from the medbay alcove, her pad clattering as she braced. Evan unbuckled. His bloodied hand left Leora's. He rose, smooth, eyes on the tactical hollows. Lock the baffles. Buy time. Leora slammed the command. Baffle fields shimmered live, scattering sensor locks. The lead cruiser fired blind beams, carved vacuum, missing wide. She poured power to engines. Shuttle groaned. Relay conduits shrinking ahead. They're hailing, Evan said. His voice stayed level.
Calm as pouring tea. Leora patched it through.
A gravelly voice boomed, laced with Vishari zeal. Vesh, traitor, surrender the contaminant, purge the bond, or we glass your path. Her crest flared hot. Fanatics who'd branded her marriage abomination. Leverage through Evan. Always the soft target. This is Leora Vesh, Sector Medicate Lead. Stand down. Prefect SAR already recalled. SAR yielded to the beast. The voice spat the word. We claim higher writs. Human executed. You redeemed. Evan leaned into pickup. Try it. Silence crackled. Then laughter, cold. Prey boasts. Boarding drones launch. Prepare for reclamation. Leora scanned. 20 signatures detached, spiked with breacher claws. Faster than SARS. Her fingers flew over codes. Sector lockdown engaged. Vents sealed. Bulkheads reinforced. But drones punched through outer hull plating like foil. First impact shuddered the deck. Clang echoed. Then screech of claws on inner bulkhead. Mary's paled. Stylo trembling.
Hull breach forward. Toxin seals holding barely.
Evan grabbed a bulkhead strut. Braced. Leora, keep flying. Maris, log this. She nodded, pad up. Vitals streamed, heart racing, but steady.
Second drone breached. It skittered into the corridor, mandibles whirring.
Quad stunners deployed, blue arcs crackling. Evan charged. No yell. Just motion. Drone fired. Bolt hit his shoulder square. Flesh charred. He didn't slow. Grabbed a foreleg, twisted. Alloy snapped. Sparks flew. He rammed its core with elbow, guts exploded in oily spray. Leora banked hard. G-forces pinned her. She glimpsed it through the hatch, Evan shaking ichor from his sleeve. Hole in his shirt smoked. Skin pink underneath, no blood. Third drone, piled in, claws raked his thigh, fabric shredded. Evan pivoted. Caught the mandible mid-strike, yanked. Pulled the whole head free. Sparks showered.
He hurled the wreck back at the breach. It wedged, sealing 2 more behind.
Maris gasped, damage minimal. Muscle tier human norm heals in hours. Our drones crimple under half that. Keep logging, Evan said. He stripped a stunner from the debris. Charged aft. Leora pushed throttles. Relay loomed closer. Cruisers flanked. Tractors probing baffles. A beam clipped the wing. Shuttle spun.
She fought at level. Evan hit the corridor.
Fourth drone lunged. He sidestepped.
Fired point blank into its underbelly. It seized.
He vaulted over, forearm smashing the sensor cluster. Dead. Prefect Sar's voice cut in, patched from earlier relay. Vesh. Purists rogue. My team's en route. Hail survive. Evan thumbed response mid-stride. Working on it. Fifth drone breached starboard. Claws gouged deck. Evan slid feet first, kicked its stabilizer.
It toppled. He pinned a leg.
Stunner to the joint. Pop. Circuits fried. Leora locked weapons evasion. Drones inside now, 6 active. Her codes bought seconds. Sector grid flickered. Purist overrides probing. Maris forwarded data. Transmitting to Medicaid core. Human dermal layers exceed Vishari scale by 40%. No cyberware detected. They're watching live. Evan reached the main hatch. 2 drones converged. One fired. Bolt grazed his ribs. He grunted. First sound of pain. Pressed on. Grabbed the first drone's chassis. Lifted. Slammed it into the second. Both crumpled. He stomped the cores. Sparks died.
Hull rocked.
Lead cruiser reeled them in. Bay doors yawned ahead.
No, Leora hissed.
She dumped baffles, fired decoys. Tractors wavered, but boarding tube extended, magnetic grapples inbound. Evan burst onto the bridge, swept Leora behind him, hand gentle on her shoulder. Then steel, armory panel. Now, she pop it, grabbed a plasma cutter, improvised. He took it. Ignored the stunner packs. Grapple thudded home. Tube clamped. Breach seals hissed. Mary sealed herself in medbay. Adrenaline spike, but quiet. He faced the hatch. Cutter hummed blue. Hatch buckled. 3 purist troopers stormed through. Armored, crests scarred with zeal marks. Rifles whined charge. Contaminant. Yield. Evan stepped forward. First rifle spat plasma. Hit his chest, dead on. Armor plate on his jumpsuit vaporized. Skin blistered. He kept coming. Eyes locked on the leader. Troopers froze. Crests wilted. Second shot. Evan twisted cutter. Deflected the beam. Barely. Advanced. Grabbed the shooter's rifle barrel. Yanked. Trooper stumbled forward. Evan drove knee into helm. Crack. Helm caved. Trooper dropped. Fire. Third trooper unloaded. Bolts hammered Evan's arm. Side. Cloth burned away. Bruises bloomed purple. He charged through. Tackled the shooter. Pinned. Cutter to throat seal. Hiss. Trooper spasmed. Armor venting. Leader drew blade. Lunge. Twisted. Blade clattered. He head-butted the helm. Visor starred. Trooper reeled. Evan's back. Welted, scorched. But he moved fluid. Unbroken.
Monster! How withstand? Evan pinned him to bulkhead.
Forearm across throat. Love her. Voice low. Gentle even now.
You threatened. I end it.
Blade hand flexed. Evan squeezed. Bones ground. Leader gasped. Confess. On record. Maris piped in. Recording. Medicate witness. Leader's crest shriveled. Purge. Failed. Hail. Protected. Call off. Truce. Evan eased pressure. Tossed him at the hatch. Broadcast it. Tube retracted. Cruisers peeled back. Tractors died. SARS enforcers swarmed the grid. Late, but enough. Leora exhaled. Punched for relay. Stars streaked. Evan slumped into co-pilot. Reached for her hand. Fingers intertwined. Bruises pulsed under her touch. Warm. Steady. Maris emerged. Pad glowing. Data gold. Resilience unbound. Homo sapiens devotion metric exceeds purest dogma. Publication viral. Leora traced his scorches. He squeezed back. Quiet.
Devoted. Sensors pinged anew.
Relay exit ambush signatures. Heavier. Coalition marks. Not purists. Evan straightened. They saw the logs. Shields charged. Bigger ghosts closed. Devotion escalated.